again, ladies and gentlemen. This is your friend No Way. In this video, I want to look at what has truly happened to America. Why have we fallen so far? I guess the first thing to look at is God's not a part of it. God is no longer a part of America like it used to be. The guiding principles and the morals and the values of the people are now that of a corrupt government, a broken, corrupt, and almost satanic school system. Our children are not being taught life skills. Our children are being taught to be a victim of something they know nothing about. When I see these new videos coming out by Project Veritas, and you look at these youth that are praising communism, socialism, totalitarianism, these are youth that have no direction other than themselves. They believe in themselves and only themselves, and they have been brainwashed into believing that if they have this social communist state, that they will be the ones that will be dictating who lives, who dies, who works, who don't. They don't understand that as it was in the 1920s Russia with Stalin, they were called useful idiots. They are useful to the cause, but they are idiotic to what the programs truly are. When they brag of gulags and re-education camps, they do not understand what it is that is being talked about. They have been sold a bill of goods by the very communist professors and teachers within our schools. They have an agenda. They will be the ones running the country. These teachers, these professors, these government leaders like Bernie Sanders. When we see this radicalism, this is the downfall of America. I do not see a way back because we don't have the churches and the godliness in America that we used to. When one follows God, they understand the path is not easy. When we see in the Bible of the end times, when it talks of the mockers and the scoffers, well, that's what you see today. It's become okay to shout down and abuse anybody that speaks of God, anybody that speaks of the righteousness of God. We even see in amongst many circles today that they all claim to be Christian, they all claim to believe in God, but they believe in God the way they want to believe in God, not the way the Bible states to believe in God. And that is a problem. We do have an indoctrination through our social media. People don't see God's creation the way God's creation was meant to be. See the beauty in it. See the serenity, the peacefulness, the kindness. But instead, we see victimhood. We see strife. We see greed. We see a very lack of empathy for fellow man. When somebody gets hurt, somebody loses a job, and you see the youth praising themselves because they helped that person that they dislike lose everything. Agree with me or we will destroy you. And they're proud of that. But at the same time, we're seeing that if any of this stuff comes against them, look at this cancel culture now. One of the farthest, most radical lefties that I know, being here from Maine, is Stephen King, the author. So he makes a truthful statement. Sure, these award shows are nothing more than a bunch of overprivileged, undereducated, unintelligent actors and actresses patting each other on the back. Now, he makes the statement of these awards should be given for quality and not diversity, which is true. Any award should be given to the best. The trophies, these participation trophies that our children get. No, that's not it. But he was attacked for saying that. Anybody in Hollywood or in that industry that does not follow lock, step, and barrel the pedophiles and the perverts, and I'll be nice, they are immediately blacklisted, chastised, and pushed to the side. They're not wanted. We have a narrative to push. We have to use our popularity within our society to shape the world the way we want it to be. And we see that today. Taylor Swift has gone totally bonkers. She's gone. She was a young entertainer that came up, became political, became a complete disgusting person to see. The way she dresses and flaunts, and there's no morality. She is so immoral, but yet she uses her popularity to sway the young minds. Another problem that this creates, talking with a friend in Canada, he was a welder and a fabricator, and as I did many years, and we don't have that left. Our youth are not being taught life skills. They're not skilled tradesmen anymore. We don't have welders coming up, fabricators, carpenters, electricians, plumbers. We don't have this youth. So that now when lots of this manufacturing is coming back into America, we don't have the labor force to do these jobs. So what's happening? This skilled labor force from Canada is coming into America to do the jobs that we no longer have a labor force to do. Pipe fitters in some of these big factories. These are very well-paying jobs. But because our youth have been indoctrinated into, well, no, you work 2 hours a day and 3 days a week, and you make $300,000 a year. That's what they're indoctrinated into. And the rest, because they feel like, well, no, you may not be able to have that free cell phone, and you're going to have to pay for your health insurance, and you're going to have to pay for this stuff, just like a lot of us have our whole lives. They have been indoctrinated into no. So, of course, when it comes to Christians that put their faith in God, that have seen the godly way and know that it's a fair day's wage for a fair day's labor, the youth of today have no right to dictate what that fair wage is. They don't realize that if you keep taxing and destroying what they call the rich, which anybody that owns a business, oh, you're automatically rich. If you do not have these business owners, there are no jobs. They're not being taught the truth of, look at Greece. Greece can hardly function because they have, if you become unemployed and you go on unemployment, well, you can collect unemployment as long as you need to. Also, these public sector workers are retiring at 50 years old. Now, there's more people on government services than the country can provide money for. And we're getting to that tipping point here in America the same way. We don't have the resources to give out a life of welfare to those that deem they demand it. When our children go off to college and go $100,000 in debt, but they're not getting an education in a field or a trade that there's jobs. They're just getting an education, or so they think, an education, but they're not being taught how to do a job, how to provide for themselves, and they are now demanding that government take from others and give to them. That's not godly. You're wondering why America is in such turmoil today? Look at the leadership. Look at the godlessness within our government. Look at how they pad their pockets with millions of dollars, and now they want to get rid of the only guy that's exposing it all and trying to stop it all. Why would they want to give up their millions of dollars of ill-gotten gains? They honestly feel, these elite honestly feel, they have the right to live off in millions and millions of dollars that you must provide. And the more power you give them to do this, is the less power you actually have. So ladies and gentlemen, take a good look around. It's time to, yes, listen to us that put out this content on the many platforms that we're on. But at the same time, you must start getting with your neighbors and getting with other people and informing them. No more of this. There's many people out there that give their propaganda opinion, and they have no facts behind it. That's the problem. Facts. We need facts. We must deal with facts and only the facts. And first and foremost, we must take back our youth. Get them out of these schools. Shut down this public indoctrination center that came right out of Nazi Germany. It's the same thing. It's dumbing down the American children to the point where they cannot even fend for themselves. They can't provide for themselves. They don't have the simple life skills to do anything except complain. We really have a lot of work to do, or basically, well, we're going to have to sit back and just watch it all go away. Save your own soul. We cannot save the souls of the multitudes that don't want to be saved. I know many think that we have to hammer at them and hammer at them and hammer at them. It ain't working. You're hammering at them at the cost of your own soul. So we have a lot of work to do. And it may not be nice the way the outcome will have to be, but it will be the way it has to be. So on that, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, God willing, this is No Way Out.